I welcome you all for today's satsang, which is telecasted in different countries. What is satsang? Sat means truth. Sang means to be with the truth. How we can be with the truth? In fact, each and every living person on this planet is in search of this truth. Truth means not the thing what you can find out of a search, not the thing what you will reach by seeking. There is nothing to find, there is nothing to seek. Truth becomes a possibility by living with what is. In this creation, what we need to understand basically is, can we be able to stop all forms of struggle what we have? Even attending a satsang, trying to find the truth itself should not become an effort. Itself should not make you to move somewhere, because every bit of life, every moment of life, everything in life is divine. Can we just live with the divine? Can we just find our life in its purest, effortless form? Every effort in life indicates not being with the truth. That doesn't mean you will not put any effort in life. Anything what you do will not become effort. That is the understanding of life. Because effort is always created in the mind. Body interacts with the life situations. Whatever may be the outcome due to that interaction, if it is unconditionally accepted, there is no question of effort. When you have some resistance, that resistance for what's going on, that resistance towards what's your expectations about the result what you are seeking, like this, always mind searches behind something or the other. Always mind creates an effort continuously. If you are in effort, whether you are practicing a posture, whether you are practicing pranayama or meditation, or you are trying to progress in day-to-day life, how easy you are. That is the most important thing, including Patanjali and all great sages. What they try to speak through any classical text is how easily you can express life. And the most astonishing fact is, for easy expression of life, nothing is required. For easy expression of life, just life is required. As long as you are having life, that is the only thing. And it can be easy since life itself is easy. What is life? Life is nothing but all-inclusive. Life includes you, life includes the stars, life includes the moon, life includes the other, and each and everything on this planet contributes towards the happening of your life. That all-inclusive state, that totality is life. Life is in fact very rich. Life is in fact very complete. Life is in fact very, very easy when the moment you begin to look at life from a broader perspective. If you're going to consider it's my life, that ego, that recognition, which tries to create struggle, there start all the problems. There the life begins to move away from a fact. The fact is always easy. See how easily a mountain stands, how easily forest grows, how easily a fire happens, how easily wave happens in the ocean. Everything is easy. A cloud flies easily, a bird flies easily, a human walks easily, but very rare to find a human walking easily. Always they are thinking, always they are worrying, always they are trying to move somewhere they want to reach, somewhere they want to put some fight for the struggle what they have in the life. So it becomes a kind of constant effort. Of course, some things needs to be organized in your day-to-day life for the comfort of life, for the expression of life. Why that organizing should bring an effort in you? If at all, if you want to call it as an effort, it should be outside of you. If you throw a stone on the floor takes that impact of that stone. And if it is taking the impact, and if you are worried about it, it doesn't have a link. In the same way, whatever happens in the outside world, it happens. That recognition, that relationship, what you are trying to establish between you and the existence, how you are trying to establish, what quality you have in your own self towards own self, how you are treating yourself, that matters. In the end, if you look at the whole life called the concept of life happening, it's nothing but a constant effort what you have inside that you are creating. Actually, there is no effort. There is no effort for the inside, and there is no effort in the creation. There is no effort at all anywhere, what we call as prayatna in Sanskrit. Everything happens. Different realized persons speaks in different language about the same thing. If Patanjali speaks it as prayatna shaitilyabhyam, Buddha speaks desire is the root cause of all the pains. Same language, spoken in different way. Krishna tells the same thing. Don't attach to the result. If you are not attaching to the result, you are easy with life. You are effortless. You are effortless in your own effort. If you don't have any desires, desires means nothing but expectations. Expectations is nothing but you will have a pattern towards approach of life. It has to decode in a particular format. It has to unfold in a way what I want. If life is not unfolding in the way you want, you create a struggle. And also, in the past, if things has not unfolded the way you wanted, you are haunted, you are burdened by the history of your life, and out of that impact of that history, you are trying to unfold the present. Already you carry a weight behind you, and out of that weight you are approaching so-called the race of life, running race. No? It become a race. Instead of living, instead of happening, instead of enjoying the presence of life, instead of being in the pure, effortless state what is in every flower, every star, every moon, every sun, you begin to create an effort. You begin to create unnecessary thought process. You begin to create the worries, sufferings, pains, and you begin to have so many complaints about life. When such is the direction of life, the first impact will be on your health. The next impact will be on the people surrounding you, on your relationships, on the next generation. Like the whole problem begins to happen, mainly due to the effort what you create. Once you create an effort in you, that creates a fire, the fire which burns your energy. Everything is easy. Actually, the effort takes away energy from you. You can be easy because easiness doesn't depend on outside. Easiness depends on who you are inside. So in this satsang, how we can gain this maturity to become easy with life, in which direction we can unfold life, to know life as just life, to live life as just life, to face life as just life, to flower in the life as just as a flower of this life, how we can drift or shift the approach of consciousness in the nature. From that angle, we try to cover the questions what comes in the satsang, because questions can be answered in thousands of dimensions or directions. Aligning towards life happening. From that dimension, we will try to answer the questions. So if any one of you who are here, if you have any question, you can ask. We can start from here, then we go for online. Difference between yatna and prayatna. Yatna means what you are expressing out of joy, what you are expressing as life, what you express out of suppressing life expression is prayatna. Prayatna has a concept of inside effort in the outside expression. In yatna, the inside joy, inside celebration, inside easiness is there in the outside actions. So that is the difference between yatna and prayatna. Of course, yatna should be there in life, not prayatna. That's why Patanjali brings the concept of cessation of all forms of prayatna or effort. That language, how you going to learn? Actually, practice of posture is how you technically develop the concept of cessation of effort out of body level. Because if you understand the concept of yatna and prayatna, of course the introduction what I gave for the satsang, from the background if you look, the concept of practice of posture. In the practice of posture, what we will be doing? Here, the body is there, the primary layer of the concept of I. This body begins to interact with whatever the outer format what we get with the world. Means the form of the outer world, form of the inner world. See, body is the layer in between the inner world and the outer world. The outer layer of the inner world is body, will be interacting with the outer layer of the existence. Two outer layers. How you bring the union between the two outer layers, that is the whole concept of practice of postures. Prayatna Shaitilya means, suppose if you are able to bring an effortless state to the outer layer of yourself, the body, in the interaction with the outer layer of the physical world. Because the physical world, what we call as nature, has the inner world of the universal consciousness. Prakriti Purusha is there. In the same way, we have Prakriti and Purusha. We have the consciousness and the body in us. In the same way, existential consciousness, existential body is there. Existential body is nothing but the nature. How the nature part of your own self begins to interact with the nature part of the universal consciousness. If the nature part of yourself gets perfectly harmonized with the nature part of the universal consciousness, then the body merges. What is the space concept? Space concept is nothing but a physicality, or the length, breadth, width, what you measure, that gives the space concept. This much big, this much small. So this comparative program will be there in all of us, because when you understand the science of life, you should understand the opening, the flowering of life. How a flowering is possible in life? By understanding the real self, by expressing the real self. Where this real self is expressed? It is expressed in between the nature. The nature is full of spatial concepts. If a flower is there, it has a particular shape. If a cloud is there, if a mountain is there, if a ocean is there, everything occupies a space. What has happened is, to this mind, which has undergone the journey of millions of lives, millions of years, always it is interacting with the limited aspect, that is the space concept. The limited aspect means how far you can see, how far you can hear. See, in the end, what you call as space concept is nothing but the perceivable world. What you are perceiving using your sense organs, that is the space. Even a person who is blind, that person will have that space concept through the touch or through the smell. So these five senses always construct a way of life. What you perceived, that construction becomes the way of life. See, if you look at the evolution process, what is evolution? Evolution is nothing but If your life expression becomes a possibility to overcome the constructed life happening through five senses. I repeat, what is life development or life evolution or life growth, whatever the name you may have, to say in one line how life becomes more joy or easy is mainly because once you begin to cross the borders of five senses, you take the whole evolutionary process of humans. If you take whole evolutionary process of humans, always it's nothing but crossing the limit of what you perceived. Let's take an example. Now in this hall, many people are from different countries and sitting in between Indians. Earlier times, it was very dangerous to travel to any new area. Even 200 years ago, 300 years ago, if people find any new person in their area, they used to kill them. They used to enquire them. Now, how we are sitting here peacefully because of part of the civilization process, the part of recognition of Indians in other countries' people in Indians. That means we are able to think and accept beyond the borders. Whether it is the borders of a state, borders of a nation, we are able to break through it. So then we begin to call it as a tourism. Now it's the time of global tourism. See how we evolved. If a person is bound by what they perceived, if they are finding their life only to the limitation of sense pursuits, this is my language, these are my people, this is my culture, this is the way I dress, this is the way I speak. Once you are bound by that, and once you are limited by your life expression with the things what you perceived in your life, and if you begin to act as per the border, then you begin to fight with the people who are outside that border. You begin to fight with the people who speak different language. It happens practically in the state what we are living, it is Karnataka. A river called Kaveri flows, which flows to the next state, Tamil Nadu. So some water sharing problem is there. Suddenly what happens? That water sharing problem becomes a language problem. They begins to talk against every Tamilians because they speak different language. The issue is water problem, but the problem becomes to language because a border, a boundary, only my language, that recognition. Always this happen. Even if you consider the whole civilization process, every aggression expressed by human being is because they believed that as truth which is perceived by them limited to their own sense perception. It creates every angriness, every aggressions, every upset, every reason for war and fight because everybody has the concept about the truth. Truth is not a concept what you hold. Truth is not a theory. Truth is not a principle. Truth is everything. Truth is all inclusive. Truth is all dimension. Truth is you, truth is me, truth is a mosquito, truth is a cockroach, truth is a cloud, truth is a mountain, truth is a forest, truth is a ocean. So how you going to confine a truth to what I believe, a truth to what I perceived? Because in the end, if you look at the whole creation, how we grow, we all perceive a limited things. We cannot perceive all the languages in this planet. We cannot perceive all the cultures in this world. We cannot be relative to all the humans. He is my brother, I do a favor to him. She is my sister, I show only love to my sister. No, because it's a limitation. Love, you are love. You love each and every living being. That is that true spirituality. How you are aligning towards that. See, where you are breaking the space concept, it happens. Because space is nothing but where that is generated. Every situation is generated. Every concept is generated. Every holding is generated. Every faith or belief system is generated. Every confinement is generated. How intelligent the Patanjali, how intelligent the ancient sages of Indian philosophy background. Whatever the classical text you read, what they teach you is how you can break your own perceivable world limitation. How you can come over of your own experience. Normally it's a human tendency. It tries to bind to its own experience. It tries to hold as true, and even the aggression is expressed out of that holding. I belong to this country. I belong to India. I hate Pakistanis. You ask even a child on the street which is innocent, which has never seen even in the map a Pakistan country, it hates Pakistan. Why? Because of a belief from where that enmity is generated. Mainly because it's a confinement, because it's a perceived world. The first evolution starts, the first growth starts, the first breakup of the border, opening, the wisdom, every evolutionary bit in any direction is a possibility once you have an organized methodology to break a confinement. That methodology is very well organized, established, practiced in yoga. That's how you practice to break the space concept. And the peak of breaking the space concept is seen in Pratyahara. See, Pratyahara means people may translate it as withdrawal of senses. No, it's not the withdrawal of senses. It's a very weak translation in the language what authors do. Pratyahara means you are not affected by your own sense feedings. Sense feedings are there to safeguard you. If there is a fire, the sense tells it's a fire, don't go there. If there is a water, you swim. So it saves you. It is a facility to express life. Instead of that, the sense perceived things creates the border. The sense perceived things becomes a principle. I believe in a culture. It is the superior. So this belief system, this border, everything is created out of what you perceive. So how to break it? Patanjali starts by saying, what is yoga? Atha yoga anushasanam, yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. What a beautiful invention. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha means chitta. Chitta means the mind. This is the way of the mind. Vritti means a kind of profession, the way of a pattern. The mind is patterned or branded in a particular way. What is the way? What senses has fed to you? What is a process of learning has happened to you? That is the truth. I am not ready to accept anything. No. Don't act in life having any background. Be free. You are totally free human being standing in each and every moment and encountering the nature facilitated by the experiences. Instead of facilitated by your experiences, you are burdened by experiences. if you are not burdened by your experiences indicated by thoughtless state in meditation. If you have a thought in meditation, what it indicates? You are burdened by your experiences instead of facilitated by an experiences. When an experience becomes a burden, see, when you are a child, how happily you are playing. If you look at a baby, how attractive it is because of its innocence, because of its joy and celebration. You begin to act out of burden of your experiences. See, if a flower is there, it has to blossom, it has to bloom, because it gets the nourishment of sunlight, water. Like, the life should be like that. Your experiences should make you to bloom. But instead of creating this blooming, if you see, all the elder, the more you are getting older and older, you are more the worried person. You observe it's a very a kind of hypocritic or a funny or a ignorant process what happens with the human life. Children are happy, adults are not happy. Actually, adults should be more happy because they are more experienced. They are experienced to be happy. Instead of that, they are experienced to be sorrow. No, that's the irony of life. That is the ignorancy of life. If you are in satsang, means if you are truly aligned with the nature, experiences nourishes you to bloom in life. Experiences breaks the border of your life. Experiences makes you to open your life. Experiences makes you to flower. You become more and more joy because you are enjoying the facility of life, which is immense and marvelous. Instead of that, due to 101 reasons of your life, people are patterned to suffer. If they are not suffering, they lose their identity. They think, I'm missing something. See, nothing is required just to be happy. Nothing is required, yet they don't want to be happy. There may be problem, there may be issues. Solve it, face it. What is there in it? See, life is different, life situations are different. Why you mix up life and life situations? So to separate this mix up, you need to understand what is space. When you are practicing yoga, for example, when you practice the postures, when the effort is stopped, your border is stopped. See, this body creates effort. If I am, let's say for example, if I am placing my palm on the floor, the more I press the floor, the thicker the border is created, more the feeling of I is generated. The more the confinement. When you are practicing a posture, as the progress happens in the practice of posture, the touch between your hand and the floor is lightened, balanced, aligned, distributed, stretched properly. So out of this, you will no more feel the palm touching the floor. Suppose if you are doing a triangle posture, let's say, the moment your palm begins to lose the impact of the touch with the floor, the whole body is merged with the space. Then it's no more my space. Because for millions of years in the whole evolutionary process, a struggle is there in the body for survival of the fittest, the famous Darwin theory, survival of the fittest. Always survival of the fittest means you have to struggle, you have to fight, you have to compete, you have to prove. That history is there. So that's why people want to struggle. As an identification of the past, they want to move ahead only by carrying that pattern. But actually, to live life, no struggle is required. To live life, no effort is required. Life is easy. Life is struggleless. Life is happy. Life is joy. Life is celebration. Life is you. Life is all. So this all inclusive contentment. I am alive. My space is not only what this body perceives. Or else your space, meaning your life, if it's only limits to the body, whatever this body gets, then only you are happy. If you are getting what you want, if you are not getting what you want, you are upset. So that is a kind of animalistic life. Through practice of yoga, through the words of Patanjali, when you are able to break the duality. Duality is the separation of you from the other. Even tatha dvandva means then only the dvandva, duality is broken. When the prayatna becomes shaitilya, when the effort stops, duality is gone. So in the same way, when you are in a posture, if you are able to take out the limit of space at the body level, that is the progress in posture. Instead of that, unfortunately, in the present day world, how they are practicing posture, it's just like a circus. They try to jump from posture to posture. They are tempted to finish a particular series. They are tempted to create more effort. It's a kind of struggle. It's a kind of prove what they are trying to do. Instead of that, you should move towards more gentleness, more politeness, more subtleness. So that easiness makes you to evolve in the practice. This space concept is very much dealt in practice of yoga. Even in terms of pranayama, where you are trying to practice the cessation of the breathing. When Patanjali explained what is pranayama, pranayama is nothing but how you are trying to establish a state where the two is gone. You and the other is gone. See, once the body is more opened in the sense effort is dissolved in the body, that automatically leads to a state where the breathing becomes subtler and subtler. Once the physical dimension of separation is stopped, once the physical dimension of separation is stopped, mind dimension of separation also stops. When the separation is stopped existentially, separation stops functionally. I repeat, when the separation stops existentially, separation stops functionally. When the separation stops functionally, then it's called pure non-dual state. Living the non-dual state. This is what Shankara brings in his philosophy. Shankara is also a famous yogi. How you bring that non-dual state of life. That is the breaking pattern of space. And also, we all know Einstein was able to bring in the fourth dimension and proved through science, space and time goes together. If you are breaking the space, you are breaking the time. Breaking the space, breaking the time means if you are breaking the confinement of the space, you are breaking the confinement of the time. Breaking the confinement of the time means you are breaking the effect of the past. You are breaking the effect of the past. Space has direct link to the time, time has direct link to the space. Because if an event happens, it happens at particular time in a particular space. So that's how you can progressively evolve. A very well developed methodology is there in the yoga where you can break the concept of space to the practice of 8 limbs. Becoming the space itself, becoming the time itself, becoming everything itself is samadhi. That is the last state of yoga. The whole practice of yoga is nothing but breaking the border. Even if you study yama niyama, see when there is a strong border is there, for example, if you want to stop somebody who is having a stealing habit, let's say somebody wants to take a thing from other person. Why they steal? Because they treat that person is separate, I am separate. I can have something for me which that person has. Then they tempted to steal. Instead of that, I don't have, that person is enjoying, it's fine. Once you recognize you in the other, once you are able to break your own border, then the thought of stealing will also not come. Because you are able to express life beyond a border. Patanjali speaks through yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. Through all these 7, he breaks the whole space and time concept, and in samadhi you become everything, absorbed. You are that, you are the truth. So the whole journey of yoga is to evolve in space and time, not having any borders. Are you able to get what I'm trying to explain? There is the difference how you practice postures. I have seen people practicing posture for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Little bit health benefit will be there, but yet they remain almost same persons. Mainly because they are not practicing a kind of how it should be practiced. They are not trying to break the borders. Instead, they are trying to create the borders. They are trying to prove something. They want to reach somewhere. They are creating a kind of a body language which tries to speak who they are. I am in triangle. I am in twisted triangle. I am in a bow posture. They are feeding the limited concept of I to practice of posture. Once you are able to break it, then you are in real dimension of practice of posture. This has a direct link for Patanjali's concept of Jnana Deepti. He brings a specific beautiful concept of Jnana Deepti. Jnana means wisdom. Deepti means day by day in your life, it has to shine more and more and more. It has to give more and more light. That is the wisdom. That is the way. Jnana Deepti means how you going to evolve as a person so that your wisdom begins to shine more and more and more. The process of Jnana Deepti is very important. You have to grow in life. Instead of that, you can see many times a reverse process happens. That's why nowadays you feel, they tell generation gap. Many young children, they don't feel good with the older generation. They feel restricted, they feel confined. Mainly because the older generation stays in their own web. The new generation stays in their own web. A generation gap is there. Even though you are interacting once in a while, always you are interacting from a background of a kind of concepts and theories. You believe in something, that person believes in some other things, yet you are superficially interacting with that person. Instead of that, you should fit for every generation. You should be happily playing with a small kid also on the street, and you should be happily giggling, smiling, talking, opening up with the very old people also. That indicates you don't have a border in life. You fit to every beings. And you fit not only to humans, you love every animals. You are happy with the birds, you are happy with the animals, you are happy with the tree, because you have that shining of the wisdom, that jnana deepti, means you don't have a border. You have grown beyond every border of life, every limitation of life. So that's how you are breaking the space concept. Breaking the space concept, it doesn't mean only that I am effortless and I am practicing a posture so that I'm trying to be breaking the space. It's not such a confined approach. Breaking the space comes with all inclusive understanding of life. If you have strong holdings in the mind, and if you are trying to create the effortless state to the body, it will not match. Body moves to the nidra. That's what happens many times in meditation. People appear to be in meditation, they will be sleeping. It's nidra. It's the absence of the mind. Absence of the mind is not meditation. Mind should be present. Death of the body is not life. Body should be alive. It should be straight. In the same way, mind should be alive. It should be in presence. Its ability to act should be there. Ability to live should be there. Once it is there, then you are in a true meditation, where you are not limited by the impact of the space. The space, practically, does it has any limit? Space has any limit? That's a fact. What scientists also trying to understand how big the universe, they could not. How far you go? Even we lost a famous scientist called Stephen Hawking, no? He wrote a very nice book, Brief History of Time. And what he told, wherever you go and wherever you stand in the whole universe, it appears same. It's so big. So imagine a hypothetical situation, wherever you go, in Mysore, it appears same. Wherever you go, how far, even you go 1,000 kilometers, it appears same. Meaning, suppose, imagine an ant, the small living being ant, if it is on your palm, wherever it goes, it feels the same. No? It will be same. Whether it is standing here, it's here, it doesn't make much difference. In the same way, we are tiny, tiny ants in the creation. Wherever you go, it appears same. Because it's so big and vast. It's infinite. So space is infinite. Space is limitless. Time is also infinite. It's limitless. Are you infinite? Are you limitless? Are you borderless? Are you a person who is totally unconditioned in the mind? You are a free soul. So that is the breaking of space. That's what yoga speaks. It starts from Samadhipada. If you read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he starts from Samadhipada mainly because to break the space. The concept breaking the space means space effect is accumulated inside of you through sanskaras or imprints or past memories. Once you begin to act in life only based on your past memories, you are not open to new. You are already burdened by your past. Once that burden you carry in you, you are heavy. That's why it's not easy to interact with the persons who are heavy. We feel, no, we tell naturally, well, oh, it's too heavy for me. I cannot stand that person. Because it doesn't mean they are physically heavy. You're not carrying them, no, on your hand. You tell too heavy means for what you are telling too heavy? For their conditions. They are too much conditioned. They are too much confined in a border. So their psychological heaviness creates an impact on the way you try to express your own life, then you try to escape from there. This heaviness is nothing but confinement of the space. Everything is infinite. Everything is borderless. The body is infinite. Krishna, a beautiful situation comes in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asks Krishna, in my life, can I see one time real form of you? It's a symbolic representation. Krishna was in the human form. Real form of you, can I see you? He gives Divya Drusti. It's called for few moments without any border, without any confinement, to have a vision. He gifts Arjuna and he sees Vishwarupa of Krishna. That's what we call as Vishwarupa Darshana. Everything is there in Krishna. That means no limit. Don't create any limit to your life. No. The body, then only you can remove any sorts of disease from your system. You are totally free, joy, celebration filled, not confined by tomorrow, not burdened by yesterday. You are not heavy and you are not running, chasing something which is not there. You are pleasantly present. Once you are able to enter this dimension of life, that is actually how you are dealing with the space concept. Space concept is nothing but the perceivable world, the nature, how it is affecting you. By regular practice of yoga and studying it authentically through classical books, you will understand how to handle the space concept in your life. Or else it's just become an imagination of space concept, or it becomes a confined way of dealing with the space. It has to be dealt in every moment and every dimension, every angle, every understanding of life. Space is everywhere. In your memory, space is there. Space of past, space of previous lives. Everything is opened. You become just easy person. Light, calm, present. Not at all having any struggle, any effort. Like a flower. Just to be a flower. That indicates you have aligned with the space and you are the space itself. That's the journey towards which we all make in life the more you understand life itself. Yoga is nothing but understanding of life. The question may be arising due to the fact many times in life when we meet some persons, we may be meeting very first time, then also we feel a kind of familiarity. We feel, oh, I know that person already. Many times what happens due to present life, you may miss that person in the life journey, but many times a glimpse comes. Yes, I feel one with that person. I know that person. I recognize that person. But you cannot recall from memories that you have seen that person. So sometimes in this life journey, relationships are established out of that natural recognition. The indication is that it happens very naturally. So you no need to have a methodology. Let's say, for example, if some nice food is cooked, you no need to have a methodology to smell. Hey, can you teach me how I smell? It won't work. The moment you are in between that fragrance, naturally you feel it. So in the same way, with the past life, you feel such a easy, calm recognition, and it will not come out of any training. It will not come out of any logics or reasonings or understanding, because it's an experience. Nothing can match naturality of that experience, just you will feel it very naturally. It's like when you're about to climb a mountain, everybody tries to explain how it looks when you are at the peak of the mountain. Once you are already in the mountain, no explanation is needed because it's right in front of you. Then it becomes your own experience. Then it becomes your own life itself. If it is your own life, no explanation is required. So in the same way with relationships, it happens very naturally. You no need to have any explanation, any logics, any reasons. Just you will be diving into it. Just you will be embracing it. Such a natural expression happens. So it's a very pure, very loving, very natural event. Let us not make it contaminated by any analysis or logics or reasons. When it comes to the question of solving an imprint, it is like trying to see the eyes by the eyes. If you are trying to see your eyes by your own eyes, it's difficult. You need a mirror. Then, oh, how are my eyes? Whether it is round or black or brown or any explanation is possible. So imagine a situation you have never seen your own eyes. Hard to explain. In the same way, when you are trying to solve the imprints, that's a difficult part every human being faces. Always imprints makes you to act as you are built up. If you look at all the children, all the parents, all the adults, Everybody is behaving from the background of an imprint. And take me one word from me, I have seen thousands of people in my journey. One word always I remember, which came from my father. He was also regularly meditating and practicing yoga, and from him I learned in my life. And he always used to tell one sentence: never try to give advice if they don't ask. How true it is with my experience I found later. People seem to listen, they don't listen. And it's very astonishing to find, since my journey is spiritual and I travel to different countries, and it happens, I meet many people and they are ready to change also. And they are ready to change, and they come in front of me, Vijay, please help me, I have this problem, I am ready to change. So if I tell, then also they don't listen. See how difficult it is. They are not at all ready to change, and they want to change, and they tell even openly, Vijay, I am ready to do anything. What you tell, I want to listen, I want to follow you. But yet you tell them they're not ready to accept. To be frank, in my life journey, till now, I have not met even a single person. Not even a single person who can just listen. Impossible. All are continuously haunted by imprints. All are continuously have, oh, this is right, this is wrong. Whether it is fits to me, not fits to me, whether it is right, no. Then they refer, they talk, no, they try to do many things. Oh, it is my life, who is to tell? It's my life, I had to analyze. Always one or the other way, they are trying to find where they are trying to bring their imprints. Because imprints means sanskara. Imprints and sanskaras means you. It is like a death. Nobody wants to die. Who wants to die? Patanjali calls it as samadhi. Samadhi in Sanskrit, it means nothing but a kind of death. A death of you. Death of concept of you, living of real you. See, death of concept of you. Every person just as a concept of that I, that has to die. I has to die. Concept of I. See, I is required in the end to create that presence, to feel that presence, to be a bridge between consciousness and nature. That I is required. But beyond that, to what extent the I is extended? All other extensions are imprints. People are strongly held by that. Their concepts, their theories, their analysis, their logics, their principles, because that recognizes them. Through that, they have their own recognition of a kind of pattern is there, or else they feel, I am losing my importance. I'm losing my importance. If a very, like an emperor is there, imagine. Wherever the emperor goes, people offer the chair, and he is always seen as a big person. Suppose, imagine if emperor enters, no chair is given, he is made to sit on the floor. What will be his way? He feels, because his imprint is there, I am an emperor. Can there be an emperor for this creation? An emperor may be for the people, an emperor may be for the emperor, an emperor may be for the kingdom, but there is no emperor for the creation. No? But imprint. If you look at the Indian tradition, even an emperor just sits on the floor in front of his own teacher. That surrenderness. He is nothing. For every person, that nothing zone should be there somewhere. That is Ishvara Pranidhana, what Patanjali speaks. Ishvara Pranidhana means nothing zone. I am nothing. Nobody is, I am something. How I can be nothing? Everybody wants to be something. Because that something is created by their own building blocks. So everywhere that something goes. Something walks in the market, something sees a movie, something is talking to a friend, something is reading a book, something is doing yoga, something is listening. Just pure being. Pure everything. Not something. When you are nothing, you are everything. Nothing and everything is same. This something is made inside of the persons. Once this dissolves, that's the dissolving of the space. Space of something. Space of holding. The space of life limited, that is called imprint. Once you are in the path of spirituality, once you are in the journey of life, life is nothing but ability to act without any background, without any imprint. Just to be alive. Always you are triggered and brings your action based on the past. Many times we see people, commonly they tell, very first time they see a person, they tell to their, oh, I don't like that person. No reason. They have never met that person. They are meeting their own person. Personality, persona, you know that in Greece, persona means you put one more face. You meet your own personality. There should not be any personality. What should be there is universality. You fit to everybody. You fit to all the living things. You fit to all the religions. You fit all nations. So this, I have my own personality, no? No. So once you have that personality, that means somewhere you have an identity crisis. It's all a mess of identity crisis. If you look at the whole life pattern, what's going on in this capitalistic establishment, what we face in this present day civilization is identity crisis. Every person stands in front of a very, very tall, big buildings, big establishments, big supermarkets. I am small. It's a subconscious effect. What people has. People has no space to feel big. Everywhere you see something is more bigger than you. So then you feel an identity crisis. You feel somewhere I am lost. It's all because you are trying to be something. Don't try to be something. Be is. See, trying to be something is nothing but effort. How we start the session. Trying to be something is nothing but an imprint. Trying to be something is nothing but what particular space you're trying to occupy. The space of your mind is taken over by the imprint. All are same. We speak one truth in many languages, many directions. In the end, it's the totality of understanding life. If at all, if you wish to break the pattern of imprints, the best solution is meditation. How busy you may be in your life, if at all, if you want to evolve in your life, you have to keep specific time for meditation. If you are telling, I am too busy in my life, I don't have 1 hour to meditate, that means you are too ignorant as a person. A person who has no space for infinity, that means that person wants to be in prison. Meditation is life. Meditation is freedom. Meditation is presence. Meditation is the state of being with everything. Meditation is being who you are truly. The true self-expression is meditation. Only entering that zone, you will be able to break the pattern of imprints. Always, imprints will be guiding your life. Imprints guides the imprints. Imprint guides the imprinted person. What action expressed by the body is actually the action of the mind. The action is created in the mind. Every action creates in the mind unfolds through the body. Body by itself has no action. Now you are sitting, the moment the mind begins to tell, no, we go to market, body goes to the market. Actually, body doesn't live, mind lives through the body. In the mind, who lives? That is the question. In the mind, if your imprint lives, your real self is not living, your past is living. Your expectations are living. Your imprints are trying to express through you. That's why Patanjali starts Yoga Sutra by telling Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It directly comes to the point what to do with the mind. If Vritti of the Chitta is in control, meaning if you are able to control the way the mind is unfolding, indicates you are able to act beyond the imprints. Indicates the mind has become an infinite field for union of conscious and nature. In life, if you see, where is the consciousness and where is the nature is uniting? It's in the mind. Mind is the real space, what we all have. The body, what space the body has? Body has a very limited space. The tallest person of this planet may be 7.5 feet, approximately. Guinness World Record. That's it. How big the mind is. It can go to star, it can go to moon. Mind is infinite. Mainly because the mind is the real space where life happens. Mind is the real space where conscious meets the nature. That is very clearly symbolically indicated even in your senses. Even in your senses, see, if I am seeing this hall, for example, this yoga hall is big. How I am seeing? It is a small dot in my retina of my eyes. That too, the dot is inverted. Now, if you study how the vision, it's inverted image and it is straightened up. And even if you are seeing a big ocean, it's a dot. That means what? Actual play or life is going on here, meaning inside. Mind. Mind can be anything. Mind can be your imprint, mind can be anything and everything. If you are having that capacity of a total freedom state of the mind, total freedom, unheld by any past, unheld by anything, whatever might have happened in your life journey, that is the ability to come above the imprints. That state of mind becomes a real space. The whole space of the nature, the complete process of consciousness, that manifestation, that is realization. Then everything begins to be in you and you in everything. Because there is no limit of space and time. That's what Patanjali calls as Desha and Kala. Very well organized methodology is there to break it. To break the imprints, the best method is regular meditation. And also, while practicing meditation, you should not end up having a confined methodology or repeating something. Many times I see people repeating Om, 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 or something like repetition, like playing a lullaby. Anything you repeat, it leads to sleep. That's what mothers do to their child. If you constantly sing the same song, the baby sleeps. Why it happens? Mainly because repetition brings the nidra. This repetition has to go fresh, alive, just presence. Drop every form of techniques, methodologies. Just be in presence. That pure presence in life breaks all patterns. This imprint tries to create the thought. The fear is the result of your imprint. The desire is the result of imprint. The expectation is the result of imprint. Everything is broken by regular practice of meditation. Of course, that's why it's called as sadhana. Tapa swa adhyaya ishvara pranidhanani kriya yogaha. Tapa, that regularity. Swa adhyaya, every moment you are reflecting your own self. Ishvara pranidhana, as I explained, every space is not about any particularity. Life is not at all about any particularity. Even life is not at all about the particularity of the body, particularity of your languages, particularity of what you have learned, particularity of your experiences. When you are able to be alive, and in that aliveness, if you are able to express a pure non-particularity state of mind, that active, that energetic state of mind, then that dimension of flowering meditation, that breaks all patterns and imprints. And one thing you should know when you are trying to break an imprint is a very confined concept of I. That's it. It's a concept, it's not true. Having a concept of sun is different, being the sun itself is different. S-U-N, sun. Just to be life, not having any particularity, not having any theories, not having any confinements, just life in its totality, all-inclusive state. So continuously being able to stay in the dimension of life breaks all patterns. It works magical. It can solve every issues of your mind. I have met in my life many psychologists. And also, it's very interesting, I feel sorry to say it, it's very interesting to find most of the time the psychologist itself will have psychic problems. Really. Because the psychologist subject is not properly understood. It's still a baby. If you know the depth of Indian philosophy, the psychology subject what the West has developed is is still crawling on the floor. It's a joke, you can tell. People try to solve the problems based on that joke. And I say this word in open psychological seminars, and when they are come to interact, they cannot defend. Okay, if it is not a baby, come out with the answer. Of course, in some particular areas, they are able to solve the issues, but the most powerful methodology is if you are able to guide a person towards the self-understanding, in the path of self-realization. That path can bring a drastic change in any person. This path is there in true Indian spirituality. Because when you tell Indian spirituality, it has like a walking on a sword. It's like a twin-edged blade. Because Indian spirituality tricks most of the people. It tries to create a faith and belief system. Indian spirituality should not be looked from the background of any kind of religion. It has both. It has religion dimension also, it has a spiritual dimension also. It has a ritual-based, faith-based expression also. It has just a being-based manifestation also. It has both dimensions. Being the practitioner of true spirituality never fall in line with any kind of faith or belief system. Fall into the line of freedom. Fall into the line of knowing the self and understanding the self. With that light, you will be able to solve every issues of life. So, and now I'm also very happy to say a word about our friends who are here. From Yoga Gita, we have developed a subject about self-awareness, how to bring it in education. As a Pooja, can you bring that photos of the school? As a part of this project, what we are trying to implement in the human expression, we took as a pilot project where I trained a bit of my students who are here at that time. And we are also looking forward to take that project in the school. It's called as Wisdom School in in Nanjangud town. And also we may extend the same to the little scholars in Gundalpet. Young scholars, the name of the school in Gundalpet. First we are taking the Nanjangud. So there we are bringing the dimension of self-awareness in the education system. Because for children, we cannot teach philosophy or any such things. We cannot be serious. Just using different organized, well-developed methodology, how you can organize their acclimatization, acclimatization in the sense to the beauty of this creation, beauty of the real self, what we all carry within us. We all carry the true self within us. This true self, how it can be expressed by understanding the self. Once you understand the self, you will never try to express anything else. Anything else means, what is that anything else? That anything else is nothing but your own imprints. Like, let's say, if I hold this paper, if I'm holding this paper, imagine an hypothetical situation. I am believing this is my hand. It's part of my hand. And I am trying to touch everything with this. Throughout my life, I touched everything, every object only. I never touched anything directly with my skin. Just an hypothetical situation. I begin to touch. No? Like with the Western people, how they eat always with the spoon and fork. Once you feel the touch of the fingers with the food, you love to eat with the fingers. In the same way, when you are trying to touch in life everything with this paper, it appears so superficial. For a very first time, imagine you begin to touch with your fingers. You don't feel to touch again with the paper. Just you drop the paper, you want to touch with your fingers. See, sometimes I did some sessions in prisons. In the prison, when you see how they allow the person who is inside the prison to meet the person outside the prison, of course, different categories of inmates of the prison is there. Many times they have to see a barbed fence is there. They have to meet their relatives being inside and outside. What they do now? They try to touch their fingers with their fingers. Imagine they are trying to touch with this. It's very horrible to see. One human tries to love, express love. Their beloved is there, but they can touch. They try to touch maximum. Touching is nothing but trying to express love, sharing, the oneness. Imagine a situation where you have closed your eyes all the time and somebody is explaining you how a tree looks, how a bird appears, how the building is constructed. You never saw. You have all the capacity to see, but yet you are depending on the explanation of other person. But once somebody tells, no, you can open your own eyes. And the moment you begin to see the building, you don't need the explanation. If that person begins to explain, see, the building color is like that, it has so many pillars, it is brick, then you, oh, please shut up your mouth, I can see myself. You stop, because it becomes heavy for you. If the person goes on explaining, in the same way, with the same intensity, maybe million more time of intensity, you drift away from your imprints. Because you are trying to touch life through imprints, instead of trying to touch with your real self. Through your imprints, you are angry, aggressive, trying to steal, trying to compare, trying to judge, trying to put anything inside a box. Through that polarity, through that differentiate, you are trying to view the world. The moment you feel the touch of the real self, oh no, how I was. See, this opening up is very nice to feel. When people tell, Vijay, I was angry for 50 years. Now, I am able to drop that anger. How stupid I was, no? When they tell, it's so nice to feel the difference. They themselves tell, I was a stupid person. Being so angry, it's so ugly they feel. Then I taunt, you imagine you never met me, be angry. They smile. See, they smile at their own angriness. Because it becomes a thing which you drift away. which the paper is left out. The explanation is thrown out. You begin to live your real self. So that is the beauty of real self. That is the beauty of celebration of living life. That joy of life is very important. Or else, in the space of you, your imprints are living, which is just a superficial life. We cannot call it as life at all. Not leave the superficial. See, can you tell that I am touching? Is so superficial. In the same way, when you begin to feel that dimension of life, you stop all superficial touchings. That is love. When you are able to stop all superficial touch in your life, then you are in the zone of pure love. Out of that love, when you speak, that genuinity, that real self, that is the life. Other than that, that's why many times people complain, yogis, why they are silent? Why they don't want to talk? Why they don't want to interact much with the people? This is the reason. If you are giving the shake hand, if somebody is doing like this, how you feel? So, no, mainly because you cannot do anything. See, your intention is you want to make that person to feel the touch, and that person also wants to feel the touch, and they are extending the paper. They're thinking, I want to feel the touch in my hand. I am extending my hand, but they are extending the paper. They're extending their imprints. Then already a wall is there which you cannot penetrate, which you cannot open, where you cannot reach. So when you cannot reach, how you can talk? How you can make them to feel the sense of touch? Then you will wait for the time till it happens. Just to be. So like this, to bring the real form of life as life should be the next generation. Because humans, almost we are able to solve all the problems. Most of the problems. 100 years before, how many problems were there? We fought Second World War. How shame it is. World War. Not even 100 years ago. It was in 1945. Still less than 80 years. We fought a world war. Such a shame. World war means whole humans fighting each other. From that dimension, at least we are able to bring about 80% of this planet is peaceful. The next 20% will be solved. It's in the line of solving. Once the issues of only the last issue is the issue of the religion. Once that stupid issue of that religion is solved, then there is a hope to see the universal peace where the next level of consciousness will come to this planet. See, earlier, how it was. Look at the life of your own parents, your own grandparents, how it was. It appears to be easy in a way, but it was so ignorant in a way. So confined, so limited in a way. That too, it may not be so confined or limited from the Indian context, but when I travel all over the world, because India had a long history, but that opening was not there. So when that confinement is there, it's not possible to evolve. But the present day world is more prepared. Another form of attack is coming through capitalistic approach, which is trying to make everybody running, rushing. And I had a meeting with some Sanskrit professors. One interesting line I heard from one of that Sanskrit professor. It's in, we were talking in the local language. He was telling, Allah Maraira, Ella, in present day world, everybody looks like we call it Dhavanta. It's a very nice word. Dhavanta, it's a Sanskrit word. Dhavanta means everybody is rushing somewhere. They come to the practice, already they want to fix the time. How long I practice? Up to 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11. Then office. Then I eat food. Then I meet. Then I talk. Then I go. After that what? After that what? After that what? What next? What next? What next? That is Dhavanta. This is the byproduct of capitalistic approach. See, we are able to solve war, aggression at some dimension. So another big task is there to solve this Dhavanta, the rush, this unsatisfactory state of the mind, non-contentment state of the mind. So all these issues will be solved by only one tablet, knowing the self. Only one solution. Once you understand your own true self, you understand everything. So having this mission and vision, how to bring it in the education system. So if it happens, it's really a very beautiful project, bringing the self-awareness in an education system. So eventually, we would like to bring it from a nursery, like a preschool, till the master degree. Just as how the students are learning science, maths, history, we would like to make self-awareness also as one of the subjects in the education system. That will be the future major project of Yoga Gita, where we will utilize whatever the resource comes to that, of course. And also we are trying to establish a center nearby Mysore, where that will be the main center for practice of yoga and studying of Indian philosophy and spreading this knowledge of self-awareness in education system. Based on this model, we see we may be able to open different centers at different parts of the world. Thank you all for sharing this vision, and we finish today's session with a chant. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. We all enter this creation as complete beings. We leave this creation as complete by itself. What exists in this creation is complete in every dimension. If I can experience the beauty and completeness within me, I will express and share the same completeness and beauty outside of me in each and every moment of this life. Wishing you all a successful journey together in this path of completeness. We are completing this satsang and wish to see you all again. And also I thank for giving this opportunity to serve the divinity in you all. Thank you all, and also thank you for the people who are watching online. Thank you.